Hey, Victor. Hey, Tora. Hi, Don. Tiffany. Hey, Miriam. Destin. Pam. How's it going? Hey, Terry. Hey, Santa. Princess. Crystal. How you guys doing tonight? Hey, Lisa. Gonna get cold tonight, down to like 5 or something like that. Hey, Diego. Hey, Dalton. Doing pretty well. Pretty good day here today. Sunny anyway. I went out and got a pizza up in St. Helens. I'm processing the video now. Yeah, I'll be getting some interviews this week sometime. I don't know if I'm going to get them in Flint or Detroit. Probably Flint, because I got to go to Detroit next week. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Hey, Stephanie. Oh, yeah, it's cold, all right. Yeah, at least it's not blowing, though. That's good. Hey, Golek, what's happening? Right now it's 11. It's going to get down to 5. Clear night, you know. It's probably the coldest night we've had yet this winter. Yeah, and that's something. They kicked there. That's going to be a good Super Bowl, Mark. Hey, boat lover, how you doing? Amanda's doing fine. Well, I'm glad you like it, though. I'm going to try and make it over to that Amish place this week. Hey, Elaine, how you doing? You know, I don't know how Rebecca is. It showed on the computer she got out, and I haven't heard from her. And I called her, and it went right into voicemail. So I don't know how she's doing. That computer system with the jail is not exactly the most accurate thing in the world. So hard to say. Oh, okay, Stephanie. Yeah, Ray in Seattle, huh? Yeah, she was in jail. Yep. Marguerite, you know, I don't know. I did an interview with her last time I was down there. Probably the same. I guarantee you she's not going to be sitting out in the old corner tomorrow. Just too cold. Yeah, it sure would. The wind is the real killer. Not that, 5 degrees isn't cold enough. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I mean, it would be hard enough doing, even if you had like the, latest thermal clothing. I mean, that's whether you spend a fortune on if you got to go camping someplace and it's going to get that cold. Hey, Erica, how you doing? How's it going? Southern Indiana, all right. Yeah, no, that's a different life. I don't think I could do it. I don't know. I haven't talked to Becky. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised she's released. I don't have 100% confidence in those records. Oh, Southern Cal. All right. How you doing? No, Raven. I don't have an update. No. All right, Tanya. How you doing? What kind of temperature you have down there today? Yeah, it was a good game. That Mahomes is unbelievable. Hey, Jojo. How you doing? Hey, Lisa. How's it going? Yeah, we got snow as well. We don't really have much snow scheduled this week. Nothing really. Yeah, you should check out Detroit, though, man. I think you'd like it, especially the UP. Center. How you doing? Wow, 88 degrees. Forget that. No thanks. Hey, Allison. How you doing? Yeah, no, it's basically they get something to break the wind. That's about it. There is something to being high all the time and not being cold like you would if you were sober. There's something to that. I'm not saying they don't get cold, but I can tell you they don't seem to get cold like someone that wasn't on drugs. Hey, Tanya, how you doing? Hey, Lisa. Yeah, Daisy's eating her food right now. It's cold when Daisy doesn't want to sit outside. Yeah, I stop out there all the time. I like going over and looking at Lake Huron. That's about another 15 miles up the road. Yeah, I don't know if you knew it. I put it in one of the videos, but there's an FAA regulation where you can part out aircraft, but they've got this stupid rule that the aircraft has to be on inflated tires, which is weird. And then they're allowed to take parts off them as they need them. You couldn't strip the planes down and store the parts. You can do that with new parts, but you can't do them with old. So that's why you see all those planes lined up there. They just slowly strip off the parts that are usable and then end up scrapping the rest. Daisy's 7. Hey, Satch, how you doing? I randomly run into him. Yep, Keel. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Daisy's a good dog. Yeah, no, that's right. Yep, that's the deal on that. So that's why they're out there like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, Brandy, how you doing? Oh, a little echoey, yeah. No, I don't doubt it. Yeah, Daisy really likes the snow. That maintenance facility, that's the old Wordsmith Air Force Base, and that's Coletta Operations. They do a lot of jet engine maintenance, and they're a charter outfit that's based out of Ypsilanti, Michigan, and that's where they do all their maintenance. That's also a general aviation airport, but it's not used all that much for general aviation. Yeah, sure, Keel. Yeah, I'd be glad to give it to her. I got a bunch of stuff. I just haven't seen some of the people and envelopes and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it's a change. You're not used to it, Tanya. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good night, Lisa. Good, Jason. I don't care, Allison. No, not really. It doesn't. I mean, of course, you'd rather have people saying nice things about you than bad, but I don't lose any sleep over it or anything. And if you look at it like statistically, I mean, those people are just like 1/100th of 1%. Nobody really cares about them. I mean, they don't influence anything. It's not like they've got credibility and I've got some, top-notch person out there bad mouthing me. No updates. Not Amanda. No. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? She was on that chat here a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't heard from her. About 185 miles, Michael. About 185 miles. Oh, thank you, Brendan. Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do. It's strange. But two of them, the two crazy women, they bugged me to interview them first, which I wasn't interested in doing. This was a long time ago. And then they wanted to collaborate with me, which I wasn't interested in. So that's kind of how it starts. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Oh, sorry about that, Mark. Hope she gets better. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Well, I wasn't really setting it up for tomorrow. I'm gonna give them a call tomorrow and just find out when's a good time for them. Probably not tomorrow. It's gonna be cold tomorrow. And I don't want to be out in that dairy bar in that lumber mill freezing my butt off. I don't have to. Yeah, that's just one of them, Lisa. Yeah. Where are you at, Bootsy Clip? Where do you live? Oh yeah, that's part of the same group as Screwballs. Yeah, something not quite right with them. All right, Jojo. Thought the birds would be eating a lot more seed today, but not really. They didn't fly around a lot today. So I got my new camera. I haven't fooled around with it yet, but I'm going to tomorrow. Oh, did he put up a PayPal account? Did he get one set up? I didn't. I don't. I glance at their videos once in a while. Good for him. I mean, it's hard to get YouTube. You got to jump through some hoops to link a bank account. So good luck to him. No, fuck it. Don't start asking childlike questions. Matter of fact, I think I'm just going to get rid of you now. Hey, Patricia. Yeah, good for them, man. Hopefully it helps them out, I mean, they got quite a few subscribers right out of the chute. So hope it works for them. I tried to get them to get a channel a long time ago. Yeah, I don't really publicize anybody's Facebook on here, Eric. I don't think it's right just because they're interviewed that the whole world needs to go searching for other personal trinkets of their background. If she wants to post that on her own videos, that's fine, but I don't really encourage it. Oh, 4,000 subs, good. Good for them. Yeah, he thinks he's a rapper, young guy. What are you gonna do? Oh, thank you, Allison. I just got done saying I don't want to talk about people's Facebook. Yeah, no, she's got a tough life. Well, I mean, that may be true, but you're mentioning it over here, and I go out of my way to not talk about that because I don't really want people. It's an interview I have, and people can listen to the interview, but I just as soon leave it at that. No, good for her. Well, I mean, if she wants to do that on her videos, she can. I'm just not interested in doing it here. It's been problematic in the past. And, if she says, here's my Facebook, and something happens or it becomes uncomfortable, it's not on me. You know what I mean? Hey, Stefan, how you doing? So we'll see. I don't know. I don't. He calls me from time to time. I talked to Gerald the other day. He was asking me a couple different things. I took those photos so they would have some channel art. They never sent me his email, and I even called him and said, you're supposed to send me your email, and I still haven't got it. So I don't know if he came up with some other channel art or what. Hard to say. But I hope it does them some good. Yeah, there really aren't any stores or restaurants other than Church's Chicken, Checkers Hamburgers, and McDonald's. There are really no stores where they're going to, and gift cards get converted into cash. They get sold almost immediately after they're given out. So I don't think that's a good idea. You can do one if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. He said he had an email address. I mean, you have to have one for a PayPal account. Hey, Jelly Jane, how you doing? Yeah, they have in the area. Yep. I mean, an email address is pretty easy to get nowadays. He's got a phone. He uploads videos. I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. Yeah, I think Dan's doing well. I haven't heard from him in a while. Some TV station did an interview with him, so hopefully he does well. Yeah, I think you do. Yeah, you got to have a Gmail. Come to think of it, you're right on me. No, I wouldn't, Keel. I wouldn't. There's only three: McDonald's, Checkers, and Church's Chicken. Oh, thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I think Maddie. I told him to start two channels the other day. Do the rap thing on one thing, and the day in the life of Maddie or Maddie and Gerald, and no rap in another. So good luck to him. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, it's a relationship they've had for a while. I think she talked about the relationship they had on there. I think it's up to her to decide if she wants to have a relationship with the guy or not. Not strangers on the internet. No, they get all that stuff handed out free all the time. If you watch some of the videos they talk about, at least it's not a problem. Daisy just got a drink of water. She's walking around the living room. Hey, Shogun, how you doing? No, it's not from Cheer. There's a million places they get it from. They don't have any problem, honestly, getting food, clothes, or shelter if they take the time to do it. It's all over down there. It's not hard to get. I mean, it's easier if somebody brings it to them, but even medical care, they can get that. And they got a needle exchange place that comes down there, and more than you would think. It's true, Erica. It's either if you got a lot of money, it's no problem. If you're flat broke, it's no problem. I do not recommend gift cards now. It's not really better than money. Margarita, how did I haven't, I haven't talked to her since the last time I was down there. Probably the same. I don't know. You must have done something. I mean, we don't ban people for nothing. Yeah, it's true. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Hey, Zach, how's it going? No, they sell them to individuals. All the cases I know of, they sold them to just people that lived around there, and it's not even half sometimes. Hey, Angie, how you doing? So, okay, Lisa. Yeah, yep. Well, there you go. There you have it. How long have you been banned and under what name, Zoe? Hey, Adam, how you doing? Yeah, there are a lot of resources down there, more than you think. They could have places to live too, but I know it sucks, even though, they're not doing that well. Even if you're living in an abandoned house, you still have some privacy. And when you live in those shelters, you don't have any. And they make you turn off your cell phone at night and that kind of thing. I mean, you would think, why wouldn't someone go in a heated place to stay? Well, that's why. They complain of the red tape. And they say it's noisy and people bug them and steal their things, and, a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I don't know, Larry, if it is or not. Yeah, I don't think giving somebody $10 is what you'd call enabling an addiction. I mean, big deal. If you listen to any of the interviews, they spend between $200 and $500 a day on drugs, and people are worried about $10 enabling them. It's a joke. Well, you must have been blocked for something. I mean, it doesn't happen accidentally. So you're posting on this one. What's the problem? Oh, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Oh, okay, that would make sense. Yeah, I mean, they've never really gotten that much money, a couple instances, but it's still nothing compared to what they get. They get money all day long, every day from working the streets, and only when $10 comes from a stranger or someone like me is it called enabling. It's nothing. Can't hardly buy anything with $10, drug wise. That's up to you. I really can't recommend anything to send in a card. I know they like getting letters and cards, and I know they like getting $5 and $10, but I mean, that's about it. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. $10. Well, they're earning their $200 to $500 a day. It's not through donations. Yeah, they like those uh, candy things. No, thanks, though. I appreciate it. I mean, I don't think I banned you, and I don't know who did. I'll check later. No, apartments way. Yeah, down there, apartments are a lot, even down there. You look at rentals in Detroit, and it's like not cheap like you think it would be. Yeah, I mean, I'm suspect to these dollar amounts. It's almost like it seems like it gives them a false air of credibility. If you're working the streets and you're spending $50 a day, that's not as impressive in the wow factor of spending $500. I'm not convinced that's true. Not on a regular basis. Oh, okay, Marion. That's cool. Hey, Roger, how you doing? It depends who you ask, Larry. Yeah, apartment rent's crazy. Go on Zillow and look what they're getting for those houses in Detroit now. There's a lot. You'll see it on Zillow. It's an empty lot. It's an empty lot near the Campbell Building. It's broken up into 4 or 5 pieces. They're wanting 99,000 a sliver. They're crazy. I don't think so either. No, housing is crazy. I don't know how these people do it. Yeah. I mean, that's what they say. That's all I can tell you. But I just don't see it on a regular basis. You know. Yeah, it's just a little sliver. Yeah, go look up the house or Delray area, 48209. These people are think they're going to get rich. Oh, they make more than $10 a day for sure. I know the girls get pissed when girls do $10 dates. It, no, that's right, Jojo. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, it may be a little conversation, but I wouldn't really consider it helping. Yeah, it's crazy. You look at like San Mateo and places like that in California, it's crazy. Hey, sexy, how you doing? What they get for homes. I just can't believe people would slave away like that just to live in a house. It is more than 10 most of the time. Yeah, I know Seattle's high, yeah. Oh, that's good, Stephanie. That's a good deal. Uh, Tweety said she pays 1,600 for 600 square foot apartment. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you got to mention that to him, Roger. Change it up a little bit. Huh. Yeah, Colorado's crazy too, I know. Yeah, Daisy always gets really excited when she sees those horses. Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't really get too much, no. No kidding, Erica. Wow. Huh. Yeah, San Diego, yep, expensive. Yeah, good for you, sexy. Glad you got out of there. Well, in Florida, it really doesn't pay that well. I don't know how people do it. Yeah, Frankfurt's expensive, yeah. Yeah, that's true. You need dope money. Yeah, low wages, high rent. Look at what people are paying for car insurance now. It's ridiculous. Nuts. Oh, wow. Chicago's expensive too, but it's not like New York or LA. Yeah, it's always kind of Florida. They always joke that you had to bring your money with you. Yeah, do it, Keel. It's fun. Yeah, car insurance is crazy. No, New York City's nuts. Yeah, I wouldn't count on it, Betsy. Wow, all right. You know, a guy was telling me that the people that own the Tim Hortons here, they say that if you, let's say you want to go out and buy a van, right? That you pay way more for vehicles in Windsor, even though they're just made, in the United States, than you would pay in the United States. You can't get anywhere near the deal over there than you can get over here. And evidently, they figured out the deal where if you buy them in Michigan and transfer them to Windsor, there's extra fees. They got a way of recouping it. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Oh, thank you. I look at these people in Walmart. I can't figure out how they live with these kids. Yeah, that's right. All their friends come over here, and when they go back to Windsor, they buy their Canadian liquor here. Isn't that nuts? I know Canada's taxes are crazy. And there's even extra taxes like up around Toronto. Oh, Daisy running. I said I was going to leave her. If it's not too cold, she likes to chase the cats for a little bit over at that last condo and then come back. So she's always like trying to figure out if she's got time. So she'll run over there. If she thinks I'm going to leave her, she'll sprint back. Some of them are, Erica, yeah. But a lot of that stuff is that generic stuff. Yeah, she's been going to town on a ride. She used to never bring them with her. Now she's been bringing them with her. Yeah, the one bird feeder's a pretty good one. The other one's kind of cheap. I've got another one actually. I'm waiting for another pole to come in the mail so I can hang that one up as well. I don't think all prescriptions are free in California, though, are they? Oh, okay. Yeah, she's a cute dog. I get pretty much woodpeckers, chickadees. Uh, that's about it this time of year. Cardinals, blue jays, most of the birds that head south. A couple nuthatches, titmouse. Yeah, it's really not that cold though compared to like it is other places. But most of the birds get out of Dodge. Yeah, those are hairy woodpeckers. Yeah, they really go to town on the suet. Huh? I never knew that. Yeah, crows. Yeah, ravens. See a lot of those up here. Yeah, when it's cold and you have deep snow, they need feeding. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, juncos as well. Yeah, you're right. No, not, we don't, I don't see squirrels around here hardly ever. Last winter there was one running around, but not much. No, not really. It's weird. Just not a good place for them. The right kind of trees and stuff. No, no, I don't see sparrows here. I mean, they're around, but not. They don't come around here too much. It's weird. Yeah, the air is super clean up here. We don't have any factories or anything like that. Hey, Dirk, how you doing? What's your temperature out there in Vegas now, Dirk? Yeah, neonicotinoids. That's what's killed the bees. I just ordered an indoor beehive today. I had 100 hives at one time. But you know, the honeybee wasn't indigenous to the United States anyway, so technically they're not supposed to be here anyway. And unless it's for commercial pollination, they're really not necessary. That's some more bullshit the media's force fed everybody. They do kill a lot of birds, bats too. Oh, 62, that's pretty good. Yeah, at one time I did. Not here when I was living in Illinois. Yeah, the indoor beehive's really cool. I'm gonna have them upstairs so they can fly in and out of the second floor through my closet window. Hey, Adrian, how you doing? Nobody will even know I have them. I had a hive on the 32nd floor of a condo in downtown Chicago. The bees did great. Yeah, you got a lot of bad beekeepers around Traverse City. I know most of those guys, Betsy. The commercial beekeepers. It is kind of, yeah, because you don't really need bees for anything other than commercial pollination. Bees aren't indigenous to the United States. They were imports, just like the ringneck pheasant. If you've got 100 acres of almonds or strawberries or watermelons, you're never going to be able to naturally pollinate those. So you have to bring in bees and put them in wooden boxes, which is terrible, and let them pollinate these large areas of commercial crops. But other than that, it's not necessary. So it's commercial interests that have put this big scare out about bees because it's hitting them in the pocketbook. The average beekeeper's a dirtbag when it comes to mother nature. Oh, do you have 5G? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, most of those ringneck pheasants, though, those are managed programs. They really don't do very well on their own. You, you know, farming's changed. That's a problem. Uh, there's just a bunch of reasons why you don't see them around like you used to. They're still out in the Dakotas, but yeah, I don't see hardly any around. There's a lot of them in downtown Detroit, believe it or not. Yeah, there's some pretty big commercial bee guys up around Traverse City. You know, and they pretty much sold the public on, you know, the bees. They make excess honey, and it's a bunch of bullshit too. Let me tell you what the bees make honey for. Bees, not for humans to take it out. And the Langstroth hive sucks. Bees would never set up in a drafty old crappy hive. Part of the reason that they're dying is because they transfer them all over the United States, coast to coast, to pollinate different crops, and it stresses them out. And a bee would never house themselves in a crappy wooden pine box that's drafty. Never. Yeah, they got varroa mites, but that's nothing. They've always been around. I think it's chemicals like Roundup and milkweeds not around like it used to be. And, you know, for like monarchs, it's not just bees, it's insects in general. What do you mean by a good beekeeper? If he's harvesting honey, he's not a good beekeeper. Yeah, that'd be my guess. I mean, a lot of those pesticides they've banned in Europe, and they haven't had that bee problem. You know, I don't know if you've ever if you've crossed paths with any bees in the wild, but you see how they set up in trees and old buildings and stuff like that. They do fine. It's you can't keep bees in a hive out in the middle of nowhere with low deck angles in the winter like Michigan and expect them to do well. They stress out just like everything else. Hey Mel, how you doing? But the hives that you see sitting around, those hives are designed to take honey. It's not for the bee. It's to put those hives in those frames in an extractor and take all the honey. Yeah, I've never found any evidence of that, Richard. If you want to, if you're going to be a beekeeper, there's called Warray top bar hives. Those are much better and much more natural. Of course, you're not going to get the yield you get from putting them in neatly framed, stackable boxes, but bees do much better that way. You can kind of put an observation window in and watch them and that kind of thing. I never had leatherwood honey. Yeah, there's an argument for that in dairy farms. A lot of these the Stettler farm went out of business in Kalkaska. They had 3 huge dairy farms go out of business last summer around here, giant ones. But there's something about that perpetual pregnancy that they claim is tough on them. Yeah, bats are fantastic. That's one of the first things you'll see disappearing when the environment's going tits up. That and uh, leopard frogs, which you hardly see any of them around anymore. And migrating birds are, a lot less too. They haven't figured that out either. Yeah, I've never read anything about that, Richard. Who are you saying? Who figured this out? And where is it published? Oh, Australia. Okay. Yeah, when I was a kid, there were leopard frogs all over the place. Well, it's mainly they're not getting paid for it. It's why they're going out of business. Yeah, but I've never. There are studies, and none of them are conclusive. There isn't one study out there about cell phone radiation that's been documented with a study that's been able to prove any kind of damage at all. Zero, none. It's all theoretical. It's not radiation either. No, I have not read anything about 5G towers killing birds. No, that doesn't mean that it's not out there, but I haven't read anything about it. But that cell phone radiation thing, it's zero. It's just people in bars talking about it. Yeah, bats are really interesting. Well, I don't know about that. Who are the, now give me some names of the scientists. And how do you know they're being hushed? And how could you prove that? It is big business, but I don't think cell phones are killing anybody. And there's no conclusive evidence that they are. None. And I bet you have a cell phone, don't you? Yeah, I see them when I go down around the Huron River. I see. Yeah, you're right, Zach. I see them around there. I don't know if they're more or less, but I do see them. Yeah, look it up for me. Show me a scientific study, a published study. Oh, you don't have a cell phone? Yeah, okay. I don't know where they're at, Betsy. I don't know how I could answer that really. I mean, how healthy are they supposed to be? And their lifestyle would lead them to an unhealthy life. So it's kind of a catch-22, compared to what? Girls their age that don't do that? I mean, it's relative. I mean, it's hard to argue that they're not healthy when they're staying up for 4 and 5 days at a time and living and not in the hospital with pneumonia. It's so crazy to me. Oh, okay. Well, this conversation's just getting crazier. There's lots of them alive. Look at Rebecca for an example. I mean, you talk about donating a body to science. My God, no nutrition, poor sleep, all sorts of inflammation from dental problems, STDs, you name it. I don't get it. I think I'd die like an hour into it. See you, Ben. Yeah, I think it's although if you looked at it from the sense of are they going to live a normal life expectancy? No, but part of that is from overdosing, which is of course you could categorize as a health problem. But as far as just general everyday health, I mean, look at Marguerite for an example. I mean, Marguerite kind of looks how I would expect her to look considering her drug use. Yeah, but cancer is a whole nother deal. It's not really real. It can be related to what you eat, but a lot of times it's not. There's predispositions to it. Some people get it, some people don't. There's good studies out there with identical twins, which means they have the exact same DNA and have been in the same environment. One gets ovarian cancer, let's say, and another one doesn't, or pancreatic cancer. I mean, I'm sure there are things that contribute to cancer, but the big ones, I think, you could mainly blame on poor genes. Cell phones are absolutely not classified as carcinogenic. That is absolutely not true. Oh, I believe it, DMS. 20% of people that get lung cancer never smoked. No, you're right about that, Adam. That's exactly right. There's one person that I've interviewed, and I've been told that, like, from the top of her arms all the way down to her wrists are just filled with pus, both of them. And the last year she used a needle to suck some of the infection out and got a kidney infection. No, you're exactly right about that, Adam. The injection sites, you're right. Yeah, huge open sores, you're right. I don't believe that either, Zach. I don't believe anybody's hiding any information. It's just this not landing on the moon kind of bullshit. Oh, thanks, Kristen. Hi, Daisy. How you doing? Good girl, honey. Good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl, honey. Daisy doesn't want to go to bed by herself. You're a good girl. You're a good puppy. Yes, good. I know it. I know, Dad, honey. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you who it is. I don't think a cure for cancer is. AIDS has already happened. HIV, that's already happened. Hey, Hypnotic Gaming, how you doing? There's a lot of reasons. Look, if you look in wildlife and you look at necropsies that veterinarians do, there's all sorts of wildlife that dies of cancer, that never smoked, that didn't have a cell phone, that doesn't eat Lay's potato chips every night. Cancer is a product of living things. It's not always because of what you did. It's the definition is unregulated cell growth. It's not all from smoking or drinking or be eating. It just happens. It's a product of a living. Fish get it. She wants to go to bed. Go to bed. Go on. Go up there. She doesn't want to go up there if I don't go with her. I mean, there's some things like, let's take for example, lung cancer and smoking, right? To get that red meat, colon cancer, chewing tobacco, mouth cancer, cervical cancer, papillomavirus. Yeah, they've got a shot though for Hep C now. That's exactly it, Mel. That's exactly right. If it mutates or not. Not always, Betsy. There's people that get cancer everywhere. It's not all related to your environment. You just get it sometimes. Yeah, there's like a zillion kinds. That's exactly it. And it's also why some people respond to treatments, others don't with the same type cancer. Yeah, she wants to go to bed. Yeah, wine, it's a mixed bag on that. When you read these alcohol studies, you got these alcohol manufacturers that are talking about the benefits of wine. That's kind of like, I've read quite a bit about that. I would say overall, you're probably better off not drinking. They talk about a glass of red wine, antioxidants, circulatory help. I don't know. They say stress causes it, but it's not definitive. No, I agree, Shogun. You're right. Yeah. What gives you anxiety, Erica? go. Stress makes holes in your brain. Where did you read that, Jojo? Where's a published study on that? Or was that, did you get those before you gave up your cell phone? That's what I think, Zach. I agree. That's why, the academics worry about legalizing marijuana when they see the shitty job that the federal government did with alcohol. It's just one more thing that they're going to risk. If you look at places that have legalized marijuana compared to places that didn't, it's a no-brainer. I know people get, relief from pain. That's all great and all that kind of thing. Well, what's the link? Where'd you read this? Just tell me the name of it. Yeah, I was reading it, just an article. I'm tired of reading about it actually, but it's interesting how these states are legalizing it and it's still illegal in the Fed's eyes, and how this banking issue has been, kind of an anomaly in getting these things up and running. Yeah, Eric, and next time you see him, ask what published study that he got that from. Tell me you want to know of a published study. Hey, Sports Speak, how you doing? Yeah, you're probably right, Zach. I know car accidents, divorce, and bankruptcy go up. I have not, Lori, no. Yeah, everything's cash, yeah. No, even the Scandinavian countries have had a hard time with legalizing hard drugs. It's not like you think. Hey, Matthew, how you doing? Hey, Cable Trucking, what's going on? Hey, Michael, how you doing? Yeah, but I mean, for drugs to get approved, they say now it's almost $1.5 billion. So before I started taking any dog warmer, I would certainly want to see what it did to human beings in long-term studies. I mean, this is the same thing that kills bodybuilders going to veterinarians and searching through the trash and getting their old anabolic steroids. Oh, Blizzard, huh? I wish we get one of those. I saw that in Newfoundland. I saw a news clip on that. Yeah, well, what's the name of the study, Jojo? Click on the link and give me the name of the study. I'll look it up. Oh, with mold. Interesting. Huh. There was this article I read talked about how Canada has really gotten on the exporting bandwagon, and there's too many regulations since it's illegal federally, and the mail's controlled by the feds in the United States. Nobody can export marijuana, and it says they're just losing out on tons of money. Like what, Lori? Like what? What drugs are made from heroin? Hey, classic kind. How you doing? Oh yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Yeah, what drugs are made from heroin? She said that a lot of drugs are made from heroin. I'm curious what her answer is going to be. Yeah, yeah, huge problem. Yeah. No, Adam, you're wrong. It's synthetic heroin. That's exactly right. There isn't a drug out there made from heroin. None. Zero. Zip. None. No, it isn't, Adam. You're getting way out there now. Those drugs are made from synthetic molecules. Nothing is made from heroin. It's absolutely nuts. Yeah, heroin is made from, but that doesn't, it's not making other drugs. None. Now, I'll tell you what my take is on the opioid crisis is the federal government caused it. You can research that. About 1993, insurance companies hired lobbyists to go to Congress because they were getting their ass handed to them in all these bullshit lawsuits for pain and suffering. So the government responded by going to the AMA and saying, your physicians are not handling pain appropriately. People are running around and in pain, and these jury awards are getting out of hand. So they invented opioids. Now, 25 years later, they're blaming them for the problem they created. It wasn't the doctors, it was the federal government. Oh, yeah, that's where all that crap fentanyl comes from, China. It did, Marge. That's exactly right. What I'm really wondering about is how this pick a place. I still don't know if you can sell it in Detroit. Maybe you can. Why aren't these new places open if you can? They got these brand new buildings. But I'm wondering how it's going to impact marijuana sales from the illegal people. How that's all going to pan out. No, you wouldn't, Zach. That's true. That's it, Zach. You're right. It's true. Yep. That's right. Yep. China. All fentanyl is synthetic. All of it. All right. Take care, Betsy. That's a totally different kind of fentanyl. It's got nothing to do with the stuff that's coming from China. Zero. It's apples and oranges. The fentanyl people are dying with from and heroin has nothing to do with the fentanyl used in hospitals. No, you're right, Shogun. They had to retire all these drug sniffing dogs because they can't use it as probable cause now. Law enforcement's really worried about it. Of course, that was their, golden key to search any car they wanted to in Detroit. Fentanyl, the medicinal kind used at hospitals, is made by drug companies. It's regulated. You know what you get every time. The fake fentanyl, the fentanyl that's killing people in heroin, is shake and bake. It's all artificially made. And you may get a big dose, and you may get a little dose, and you may get a middle dose. You don't know. It's not regulated. It's half-ass shit. They say that, Yummy Cats, but I want to see it. They talked about that cop that passed out because he touched some fentanyl. As it turned out, that was a big bunch of bullshit in the media, too. Good night, Tracy. That's habit. That's not the fentanyl people are dying from, Adam. That's the whole point. They prosecute nurses' aides up here for stealing legitimate fentanyl patches all the time. It's not the same thing. You're talking about stolen fentanyl from hospitals. There's a big difference between that and what comes in from China. That's the thing, Matthew, right? You never know what you're going to get. Hey, John's mom, how you doing? They're different, but they're made by a legitimate drug company. Oh yeah, Mexico, and I know. The China fentanyl is all fake, illegal, and in doses from A to Z. You got one guy making it in a lab in his garage, and then you got Pfizer making it in the United States. A big difference. China's fentanyl is all fake. I don't think we can. No, those generic, read some of the articles on the internet about the generic drugs that are being made in India. You talk to physicians like cardiologists as an example, and there are certain drugs that they will not allow their patients to get the generic form, and for good reason. It doesn't work. No, they're not, Adam. It's not the same at all. You can make shake and bake crack all day long, but you're not making fentanyl in your garage. It's the same recipe. Absolutely not. It's made by just some jack-off chemist that got canned from his legitimate job in China. Dirty conditions, lead. I mean, the whole theory behind pharmaceuticals is that you know what you're getting. It's regulated. It's the same pill every time you take it. With fake fentanyl, it's not. You got one guy that's making great fentanyl and another guy that's making crappy fentanyl. That's true, Sporksby. That's true. It is true. It is too true. That's true. I know girls who had roommates overdose on fentanyl, and they tried to find the guy that sold it to their girlfriend that died to chase that high. No, it's a different molecular structure. They cannot do it the same. The fake stuff. Yeah, regulation's the whole key. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Matthew. Right. It's apples and oranges. That's exactly right, Adam. Right. That's it. You don't know what you're getting. Who said it was poisoned? No, nobody said it was poisoned. Yeah, no kidding, Adam. That's what we've been saying all along. That's the difference between legitimate fentanyl and fake fentanyl. Yeah, that's exactly it, Jones, Mom. Yep, you got it. That's true. It's fake in the sense it's not made by a legitimate pharmaceutical company. That's fake. A drug company's not making it. No, it's not the wrong word. It's not legitimate fentanyl. Yeah, they get that from Mexico. Big 55-gallon drums. China sends it to Mexico. Oh, I've read a lot about it, Sporksby. It's all over the internet. Plus, I got a buddy of mine's a doctor, and he showed me some AMA studies. He won't let patients use generic pharmaceuticals. All right, Matthew, take it easy. No, you're right, Game of Finches. That's exactly right. You got it. You don't know what most people understand. I understood it, and so does everybody else in the chat. Pretty good, Eddie. How you doing? That's right, Sylvia. Thank you. It's like a fake Rolex. It's not made by Rolex. Fake breasts, you name it. It's not the real thing. No, I've read about that, Sporkspeak. Yeah, epmodafinil is expensive. Hey, did it really work? That's interesting you say that, because that's one of the biggest criticisms they have. That's the drug. Because what's the brand that they prescribe in the United States for that? The regular drug, not the generic. It costs a fortune, so people get it online. I'm glad it's working for you. Hey, JW. Yeah, Joe, watch it again. Maybe it'll sink in. No, you're right, Acme. That's exactly it. Yeah, it's true. Provigil. Yeah, that's it. Yep. It's crazy what they get for that. There's another medication they use for narcolepsy. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's one of those stimulant drugs, and that's crazy cost too. But I read a study that was done in Belgium, and they said that you could get the same effects with excessive consumption from caffeine. My God, Lindell. I think Sporksy, that's used for a lot of things now, bipolar 2, and it's kind of a shotgun approach. I was reading an article the other day where a lot of family practitioners are handing that out for basically everything. There's no downside to it. You have to check blood platelets though on that drug for some reason. Yeah. Hey June, how you doing? Some do, yeah, Chris. Some of them do. All right, Pen, take care. Take it easy. Huh. All right, Marge, take it easy. Fen was that weight loss stimulant, wasn't it? It doesn't make any sense, does it, Larry? No, you got to jump through some hoops to get that plaque. I'm not going to do it. I don't care. Oh, thanks, Jen. No, propofol killed Michael Jackson, not fentanyl. Totally different drug. Yeah, it's a stimulant to keep you up during daytime drowsiness. I'll remember it. I can't think of it right now. That's what I tell them, Lee. They don't have anything else to do, John's mom. Mother and daughter combinations. I'll delete all their messages. I delete all their posts too. It's fun. They'll write these long, 500-word posts, and I click them off, delete them. Takes me a second. Yeah, I do think it was an accident. Yeah, he just happened to get a stupid, greedy cardiologist that prescribed drugs outside of his area expertise, and it bit him in the ass. Michael Jackson kept saying, "I can't sleep." It was so stupid. I mean, that guy deserved to be in prison. Yeah, I felt bad for Prince. Of all people, I never thought he'd die. That was fake. He had Vicodin pills that were actually fake fentanyl. Did you know that? Fake fentanyl. Fake fentanyl killed Tom Petty too. Yeah, doctor was just a greedy kook. Hey, Superwoman, how you doing? Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Prince, man, it's too bad. You think all the, yeah, he was a good guy. I think he was a nice guy. Yep, Tom Petty too. Yep. Oh yeah, it's great, Michelle. It's really hurting me. I don't know what I'm going to do. Please help. You guys can all get together and all five of you can chat until the sun comes up. Tom Petty, I didn't know too much about him, but Prince, I was surprised. He chalked it off. He said hip pain. I don't know if that's true, but you'd have thought with all his resources that he could have avoided that. Poor guy. And the funny thing about it is he had a close call where they had to make that emergency landing in his airplane. You'd have thought that had been a big wake-up call. And here he ends up dying a little while later. I mean, he almost died then. They gave him Narcan, and then they got back in the plane and flew back to Minneapolis. I'm recording the snow. That's what he says. He was in chronic pain. But I mean, hip surgery is common now. Partial hips, full hip replacements. A lot of it's outpatient. I don't know why he wouldn't have got a hip problem fixed. Yeah, well, what makes you say that, JW? You get the Inquirer? No, I'm not going to do that at all. There's a reason for that, Joseph, and I'm not taking it down. That's why I put it up. I did it on purpose. Yeah, he seemed like a really good guy, Princeton. Well, what does someone burning his house down have to do with him being murdered? Yeah, that was straight heroin, though, wasn't it? With Seymour Hoffman? Oh, conjecture. Okay. Yeah, that Hoffman was kind of blackballed by Hollywood for some reason. Kind of like uh, Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts. It's weird how some of these guys, and Mickey Rourke. Yeah, I do them in Canada. I just don't get over there very much. No, that's what they say. They asked the ZZ Top guys, how did it feel uh, being the two best guitar players in the world? And they said, ask Prince, who's the best guitar player in the world. It's not us, it's him. Oh, interesting. Huh. No, I know, John's mom. They're crazy. Thank you. Downtown, Belle Isle, a lot of good places. Detroit's a very small downtown, though, compared to most big cities. I didn't ask you, Haley. I didn't ask your permission. It's not coming down. Yeah, I do too, Chris. It's a tough struggle, I'll tell you that. I'm here. I was just deleting some messages. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Hey, Jesse, how you doing? Hey, Jesse, is that the real? Is that the real you? Hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Let me look at it here. Wonder why your damn moderator thing's not on there. Hang on a second. Yeah, you can copy them easy. It's easy to copy somebody's avatar. I want to check something here. Let's see here. Come on, I think slow, right? Good girl, honey. Good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl, honey. I think YouTube's acting funny. Huh. I don't know why that got on there like that. No, people do it all the time. It's easy to copy your avatar. I don't really have one, Spencer. I don't really find comedians that funny anymore like the old days, you know? And I never watch it anymore. And I haven't been to a comedy club, geez, probably 20 years. Yeah, Jim Carrey, man, he seems like he's really kind of changed. I don't know whether that's an act or what. So did David Letterman. Yeah, I saw Sam Kinison one time at Royal Oak Theater. No, he didn't kill his girlfriend. Yeah, schools are a problem. Hey, how you doing, Frederick? I did not get a letter, Frederick. I looked through all my old mail. I looked at my files and thought maybe I just put it in one of the girls' files. Yeah, I don't like Conan. Yeah, there's always a bunch of them around. Yeah, you're right. No, no kidding. The Myers, huh? Right, Laura. I mean, I can't figure out why more people aren't moving there. You know, that need to live in Detroit. Oh yeah, I go up there all the time. Thanks, Lana. Well, I think I'm going to sign off, you guys. Appreciate you coming on and chatting. Some of them. Good night, Brady. Good night, Kelly. See you, Mark. Oh, that's all right, Jesse. Whatever's good for you. Talk to you later. See you, Danny. Take care, Mike. Bye, Lisa. See you, Christy. Sylvia. Raven's out there. See you, Mark. All right, John's mom. Yeah, thanks, JW. Good night, Daddy. See you, Superwoman. Bye, Jesse. See you, Pam.